Okay, friends, here we go. I am going to show you how to access the resources in EdCite, which is the site that we're using for tutoring. And then also you can use it for your classroom with your own students. There's lots of ways to use it. So you're going to go to EdCite. Here it is, EdCite.com. Sorry, I didn't make my screen big enough, so it's a little silly way to do it. Anyway, you're going to create an account. I'm going to, if you don't have an account, you're going to click sign up, and you will sign up as a teacher, obviously. And then you can actually just sign up with Google, and it's super easy. You'll choose your account and go from there. I already have an account, so mine's going to look a little bit different than yours because I've already done this. So I'm going to go ahead and sign in with Google. Go to my account, and here's what it looks like. Again, mine looks a little bit different than yours because I've been using it, so I have these different assignments here that I've been looking at and things like that, and I already have one class created. So I'm going to walk you through real quickly how to create a class and then how to find the content that we're going to use in this. So to create a class, you're just going to hit, it's tricky, create new class. You're going to name this class. You can name it AzMerit Tutoring. You can name it Juniors. You can name it Kids I Love. You can name it Kids I Hate. Whatever you want, but they'll see the name of the class, so, you know, however you feel about that. And then it'll go ahead and create the class for you. And then once the class is created, you'll see it here. There's a class code for it. We don't have any assignments on it. There's no students in it yet. But you've created the class and you have your class code. And so your kids can join the class excuse me, through using that class code. Okay? So first step, just create a class, learn your class code so that when your kids show up for tutoring, you can give them that class code and they can go in and start going on what you have them assigned. Now, the other piece that we're going to work on is how do you get the content that you're going to use in the tutoring sessions. And so to find the practices that we're going to use, we're going to go to content right here, and you're going to go to search. We have tagged all of the content that we're going to use, or any of the content that's been created by the Glendale Union High School District and is going to be used in our stuff. We've tagged it with the tag, it's tricky, GUHSD. So you're going to type that into there, and you're going to make sure that you're on the content tab, not on the teachers tab, because there's no teachers named GUSD. So you're going to go to content, and it's going to pull up a whole bunch of results. You can see ELA 9, ELA 9. This is an ELA 9 as well. So you can see the different levels, and you can see all the different texts, and you can hit next. It'll take you to the next page, and you can hit next again, and it'll take you to this one last final thing here. So you're going to go ahead and click on whichever text you want. So if you're doing 9th grade tutoring, and you're looking, or excuse me, not 9th grade, nobody's doing 9th grade tutoring, sorry. If you're doing 10th grade tutoring and you're looking for the green buildings text, that's the first nonfiction text you're going to use, it's there. If you're doing 11th grade tutoring with the juniors, you're looking for the everyday energy text. So you're going to click on whatever text it is that you're looking for to assign to your kids. I'm going to click on this one called the Overcoat, which is an ELA 11 literary text option. And then once it pops up, I didn't create this one, someone else did. That's why I can do this. If you create something, it'll automatically be with you and you have it and all that fun stuff. But since someone else created this and put the questions in there, I'm going to have to go ahead and customize it right here. So that means basically it's like I'm making a copy of it, sort of. Okay. And so it tells me you're using someone else's assignment. If the author changes anything, it's going to change the assignment. So what we want to do is make our own copy by clicking on the teacher ID next to the question name. So I'm going to click right here on Patrick Henry. Not the Patrick Henry. He's a teacher at Thunderbird who inputted these questions for us. And so then it says, okay, choose to replace this question with your own copy or replace all the questions that are not your own. Well, I want to make a copy of this whole entire assignment so I can use it. So I'm going to click replace all except my own. I didn't have any of my own in there, so I'm just replacing them all. You'll see that it changed from the overcoat number 1 to copy of the overcoat number 1. Okay. Once I've done that, I'm going to save it. and it's going to say, oh, this is a draft. You have to change it to an active assignment to give to students. So I'm going to just click active right there. Just boom, moves it over, makes it active, and hit save again so that it is saved and it's good to go. At this point, I can assign this assignment to my students. I can, from this screen, click assign, and I can go, you know what, I want to assign it to everybody in my junior English class. Or if I had a whole bunch of students, I could assign by specific students. You know, I could say, hey, you need a little bit extra practice. Do this if I really wanted to. So I'm going to assign by class. I'm going to click there, and I'm going to click send assignment, and then it will assign it to the class. I made an account as a student so that I could see what it looked like, so I'm the only student in that class right now, but it did that for me. Okay, now if I wanted to go find that assignment later, I could just go in. It's now in my assignments since I made a copy of it, and so here's the assignments that I have that I'm using. I also have a whole nother, you can make folders over here if you want to, and then I have all these other different assignments either that I've created or that I've imported that other teachers have created. So now that I have an assignment in here and I've assigned it to a class, all I would need to do is to give my students that class code. So I need to tell my junior English students if they were going to do this, the class code is R8CVR. They would go to EdCite, create an account, which they can do with their Google account, and then enter in that class code, and then they'd be able to access this particular assignment. Okay. We're using EdCite because it does have these technology enhanced items that our kids are going to see on the AzMerit test, and so it's just a little bit of a more just a better interface for them to use. So just to show you really quickly what an assignment would look like to a student. So that overcoat one that I copied, for example, I could go in and select student view, and then I can see what it would look like. Okay. So here's the text over here, just like the students would have, and then here's the part A question, and so they would answer it. Now this is the answer eliminator, so it's kind of a nice tool, and I'd like us to show our kids this. So if I know it's not C, I'm just going to exit out. Okay, and then I can switch back and be like, oh, it's definitely B. And then I can go to the next question. You can see again, part A, part B questions. We're working on trying to standardize these and make them look the same, but depending on who entered the assignment into there, sometimes the part A, part B questions will be on the same page, and sometimes they'll be on different pages. So just, you know, helping our students try to navigate that, but that the part A, part B questions are definitely linked. Okay. Sometimes these questions, depending on, again, who inputted them, like this passage, they might actually go over here and click on the passage as opposed to choosing which answer A, B, C, or D. They might actually go over here and then choose from the text. That's the technology enhanced piece that we really want to be practicing with our kids. Anyway, so that's just a quick little overview of how to do that. It's pretty simple. If you have any questions, of course, Jen Walker is the person to ask, although I might be able to answer them as well. And I appreciate you very, very much. Thanks.